Discuss about some important tips regarding reading comprehension for UPSC CSAT, which is paper 2 civil services. Okay, let's get started. First of all, as you all are aware, that contains total 80 questions, out of which we can expect around 26 to 30 questions on reading comprehension, is RC, okay, which forms about 33 to 38% of the paper, which could be almost just enough to clear this paper as well. Because we know that the cutoff for CSAT is 33, right? So many a times, many students clear just based on reading comprehension. They clear CSAT as well. Okay, so let's get started. So there will be passages basically. Some passages will be small, some of them will be quite long, lengthier. Okay, you need to be cautious while selecting these passages. Answer. What is the first thing you should know? The first thing is have a broader database. Yeah, the knowledge database be broad enough, might help you to relate the topics, understand them quickly, answer them as soon as possible, right? For example, the environment, ecology, these things are very commonly repeated questions. If you are very good at understanding, you have read enough environment, protection, global warming, all those things, then those topics will be very easy for you. Some of them are very good at technology or understanding economics. So some passages could be on economics. For them, it will be easier, right? So first thing is you should have enough knowledge to answer them. Some of them could be commonsensical also, but if you have a good knowledge on the topics, that will help. Then have to understand the structure of paragraph. Most of them will have a structure. For example, there will be a proper beginning, then there will be a middle part, and then most of the passages. Just to give you a hint, first sentence of the paragraphs usually will be the main idea of the passage. Okay, and the ending part usually will be the conclusion part, and in the middle part will be a main idea. Might get question of what is the main idea of this passage, what is the conclusion of this passage. Yeah, so these things you have to keep in mind: beginning, middle part, and end, right? You have to choose your passages carefully. How do you choose it? Two things: the passage is familiar to some subject, you also already know it, right? For example, you are fond of sports and there are some passages related to sports, it could be possible that you can understand that very easy. Somebody is very much interested in science and technology, for them the science and technology related passage could be, right? That is first thing. If the topic is familiar to you, it might help you. Second thing is whether the questions are direct or twisted. Yeah, sometimes direct questions will be asked based on the passage. Those things will be very easy for you to answer. But at times there will be twisted, where you have to draw a conclusion out of the concept given in passage, which might take some more time and might confuse you. You need to be cautious while selecting the passage, because that is the first step. I suggest avoid very lengthy passages with few questions. There will be very lengthy passages with few questions, they will take more time. In the beginning you can avoid very long passages with less questions. Yeah, but there are some long passages, although they are very lengthy, but the questions will be 3 or 4 questions from one passage. So that will help you, because if you understand one passage, although it is lengthy, but you are going to answer 4 questions, that will help you. That is first thing you have to observe about the length of the passage. The following question: if there are sometimes there will be passages of just 4 or 5 lines, this will help you to answer it, understand them quickly and answer them as soon as possible, right? So my My take will be I'll go for the short passages first because I'm comfortable. Short passages I'll go first. But suppose I have a very good reading speed and good comprehension, so I don't mind going for the longer passages also, provided there are more questions following the passage. There is one question, I have to spend 2 minutes just reading a long passage, I will not go for it in the fine. So you need to be cautious while selecting the length of the. So your focus should be comprehension rather than speed. I know speed is important, but comprehension is more important. That is, what is your understanding from the passage? That is more important, because if you don't understand it, just if you focus on completing the just reading the passage, it don't be enough for you. You will end up reading 2-3 times same passage. Means again you will be spending more time. So instead of doing that, understand the passage word by word. There will be some key points when you read the passage. Better if you can just note down those main points on have a sheet of paper. Just make a note of those important passages. This will help you especially when the passage is quite long. The passage is lengthier. Where once you finish it, when you see the question, you feel that this point I read somewhere. You don't have to come back to that passage again. Search everywhere. That will be very difficult. Of that, you can just note down the main point. That will help you a lot. Okay. Then, options with extreme words. That is, for example, in the option, everyone does it, all of them, few of them, none of them. These kind of words with the options usually are eliminated. They will be mostly incorrect. Okay? I cannot say that 100% they will be incorrect, but mostly they will be incorrect. Okay? You can use the elimination technique where you're getting confused about the options and you see that extreme words are there, then you can go for elimination method also. What are the other incorrect choices? Probabilities: only, all, always, never, exclusively. These terms usually are used for incorrect answer. Usually. Again, I'm saying this is not 100% verified. Okay, it could be not 90% cases. Okay, 10% cases the answer might include extreme word, but that is just 10% chance. Fine. Then scope trap. What is this? Some answer choices sound very good, but are not actually related to the topic of the passage. Read the answer choice, you feel yes, it's correct answer. That could be a right answer, but not for that question what is asked. Yeah, so you need to be cautious while selecting the options because that is outside the scope of the passage. Okay, it is not at all related to the topic, although generally that is true. To be cautious. Single fact focus. An answer choice might focus on a single fact of the passage, whereas the question requires more holistic. The question is asking a broader answer, expecting a broader answer, but in the answer there is partial answer, one of the options. Although it is correct, but the answer is only partial. You cannot go with that option. You have to look for the holistic answer. Okay. Types with mismatch information. Some answer choices will have partly correct information. Okay. Depending on the question, partly correct information will be there, but we'll also have extra redundant information which is not correct or not related to the question. Okay, you need to be cautious. These are the most expected incorrect answers, because when you read the answer option you feel this is correct, you just go ahead with it. To be cautious to avoid those type of also. Then you have to be careful about opinion answers where actually the question is about a fact, but the answer is on an opinion. More success, more efficient, most efficient. These could be trap, could be incorrect. Okay, irrelevant answers. Yes, some choices are just not related to the question itself. Eliminate those. Okay, dear students. So you need to be cautious here. One way is to find out what is the correct answer. other ways to avoid the incorrect answer. Incorrect. To be cautious. If you are just careful, I'm sure you can most of the questions and get them. Okay. All the best. Thank